It's hard to believe a week has already passed by. Time just seems to be flying towards Christmas. Today is December 6, 2015. I really don't have a haul per se. I've been trying to slow it down. I am buying a few things for the 2016, but my main goal is just to get this stuff done that I'm working on. I did purchase this week a PDF of which I can't show you because of the pattern, but it's called Our Family by Joyful Expressions, and it's really a cute little saying. I did go to our local needle workshop today, and I bought some ivory cashel linen, and then I bought some WIPS dye works, excuse me, in navy. But it almost looks teal. If you can kind of see. Looks maybe on the screen, but actually it looks more tealy. So it's just a small little stitch. It's like 10 by 8. So I was going to make it for our pastor's wife. Her birthday's in January. Let's see if I can get it done. The only thing I don't care about buying from my local needle workshop is that they don't serge the edges. And I'm not really a big fan of fray check. I think over time it does some damage to the fabric. I would prefer just thread, but I just wanted to get it started, and it's just such a small piece. This weekend I babysat a 5-year-old, so I really haven't had much time to stitch. We went to see the Peanuts movie, so if you haven't seen that, it's really cute. If you grew up loving Charles Schulz and Peanuts, I think you'll find it well worth your money. And then, what else did I do? Oh, I took them to the library, and we stayed home. And then last night, we have a place at our city park where they light up the whole entire park. Different businesses participate, and everybody has a little section, and they decorate with all kinds of lights, and you drive through around these bends and circles, and you can find just everything there. They had minions, they had, religious themes of baby Jesus and crosses. And at the very end, Santa was there with his North Pole house handing out candy to the kids. So it took us about an hour to drive through that. And I thought it was a lot of fun. So today the little guy went home. And so now I can get back to my stitching. As you can see, up here is my Dazer lamp, which I live by. I've had it for, 20 years, 15 years, 20 years. And it's a floor stand, and I paid quite a bit of money for it then, and I think it's probably doubled and tripled in price, but certainly well worth the money, and a company that has great customer service and stands by their products. I had to have it fixed one time, and they paid for the shipping down there and back. And I think it had, it was a long warranty on it. But anyway, so I use that and Mag Eyes. Mag Eyes is, these things. The only thing I don't care about Mag Eyes is that, I hate to use these in public because, just because. So that was my haul for the week. I have a few pieces that I was going to show you. On my couch, well, I took most of them away, but I have about 13 WIPS. And I planned on starting a few more at the beginning of the year. And so usually when I get home, I usually get to one piece per night. I cannot do the 15 minutes, half hour. I feel like I'm always watching the clock instead of stitching, or I'm getting up and down. doing different things, so it's realistic for me to get 100 stitches in a night. It would be great if I could get 2 pieces in per night with 100 stitches each, but not probable by any means. So I may rotate to where you see, you know, the same pieces every other week. I'm still struggling with this whole rotation thing. The Cinderella, which actually worked pretty good, I'd do 1 piece, and then the second piece that I worked on through the week, I'd put in 10, 15 stitches a night. And that worked out okay. So anyway, here goes. Let's see here. I just put a few stitches. No, that's not the one. I did put a few stitches in it because I signed up for, was it Winter Wonderland on Stitch Mania? Oh, let's see, I think I have it upside down. And only because of the Christmas theme going this month, and I stitched that little part of the leaf down there. And that's probably about 50 stitches. So what year that piece will get done, I don't know. And then this piece that I have been working on, as most of you know, the Quaker Virtues piece. Let's see, this here. But as you can see, let me adjust this here a little bit. I completed this little star thing here, and half of the little motif in the center. So I did get that part done. But I just love this, but gosh, it's so slow going. Then I thought, well, I could work on a piece per week. And that might be okay if I did a monthly video stitch. But having it every week, the videos, keeps me accountable. And if I had 1 piece to show, that would be really boring, wouldn't it? My video would probably be the shortest YouTube video ever. This one here is because of the Winter Wonderland. I did stitch the next leaf here. And when I went to the needlework store, I was going to pick up more floss, and I forgot my shopping list, forgot that I was going to pick that up, and picked up the fabric and thread for the piece I haven't started yet. That makes sense, huh? But this has 4 threads each. And on the pattern, after I finish the following leaf, it has back stitch. I don't know if I ever told you guys how much I hate back stitch. I mean, seriously, I literally hate it. I will do anything to avoid back stitch, and I think, excuse me, I think that's why I probably stitch samplers, because of my disdain for back stitching. I think it's pretty on pieces when somebody else does it, but I really do not like back stitching. And maybe I'd be okay with 2 threads for back stitching instead of 1. I'm looking for that pattern I was going to show you, and I do not see it here. Nope, it must be somewhere else, maybe. Let's see. I didn't mean to keep you guys here a while. I'm looking through patterns. You know, it's never around when you can want it or can find it, right? I know it's not that one. No, it might be in this one. Yeah, here it is. know if you can see it, but there's back stitching all the way around this, and these little snowflakes. You know, there's just a few threads, even like through here, these little berries or whatever along here. Just 2 or 3 stitches, tie off, 2 or 3 stitches, tie off. It's such, you know, like I said, the older I get, the more I just want to use one thread, same color, no back stitch. Okay, so that was that. The next piece that I have is this one, and I just was able to stitch a little bit on it last night because I had the little guy. But the only thing I got done was just a little bit more of the wreath. And I wanted to finish that up last night. I couldn't sleep, and I stayed up to about 3 o'clock and did a little bit, and finally realized that I have to get up at 6:30, so I would stop stitching. But I try to get a letter done a week. But I thought it might be a good idea to do the border first to help me from all this frogging. And I think because I've had to frog on this piece so much, I think it's kind of given me left a bad taste in my mouth. And I have 2 other pieces that I have to frog out before I can do anything with them. I think one of them I showed you. And what did I do with it? I don't see it here. I must have moved it. Possibly. No, here it is. I really like this piece, and it's done with 36 count and Gloriana. And I know I would never find the Gloriana same color again, so I'm almost hesitant because this piece is so large that and somewhere in these guys right in here I made a mistake, and I have to rip all that out. But I really love the piece. It's so beautiful. And I'd like to get back to stitching this again too. You know, all else fails, I don't know what I'm going to do with the Gloriana, but I do have quite a bit. I just don't know if I have enough. That awful sinking feeling of, gee, I have a lot of thread, but is it going to make it till the end? And will I not make any more mistakes with it? That is the $1,000,000 question. Or can I find a color to replace it? And not every store sells Gloriana either, so then it makes it, especially near me, living in South Dakota. Closest place would be Nordic Needle, which is 140 miles away. Also 140 miles is Joann's and Hobby Lobby. Stitchville is about a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive. I love going there. That place is so neat. Oh, I have dust particles in the air. If I can see this, it's not snow flying in here. It's actually really nice today. It's 41 degrees. And then my long dog sampler, which I spent 2 days working on this, and I absolutely loved it. And I want to work on it every day, just because it's just something new and something fun. There's a little bit of black work, well, sort of black work in it. But this is what it looks like so far. Oh, I got a light shining. But that's my Spirit of Veranda. So for my granddaughter, which makes me especially want to get it done, but I just really love it. It turned out really nice. So maybe I'll stitch on that today too. I don't know. And then I had this in one of my earlier videos, but I want to get back to stitching on this. Have you ever worked on something for a long time and just every night to get it done, and then you start fizzling out and going, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of this piece, I just want to stitch on anything else but this piece, and then it kind of just goes away for a while? Well, that's this piece. And the pattern is Cornwall Cottage by Rosewood Manor, which I absolutely love. The colors are just so much richer than what it portrays. I think I might have stitched a little bit on the greenery. Let's see, maybe I'll put it like this here. And then it goes all the way on down to the end. I think I might have added to the, but I don't, oh, good grief. Let me see if I can adjust this. It's probably the reflection from the light, but let's see what happens. I have the worst trouble with lighting, but the red is so rich with the green. I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful sampler, really antique-y looking. So I may work on that too this week. Well, that's all I have for this week. I hope you had a great stitching week. Thank you for all the kind comments that you stitchers have been leaving. I try to answer all of them. Sometimes dust. I do vacuum and I do clean, but you know, it just looks like snow's falling in the house. But thank you for your kindness. I really appreciate it. When I first started out, I only thought that I'd have maybe a couple viewers, my friends or my family, or you know, just a few stitchers. So I'm so thankful for everybody who has tuned in. Hey, if you have any questions or want to know something, just feel free to ask, or if you think that you can give me some useful advice on anything, I will take it. So God bless, have an awesome week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care.